Memorial Coliseum. The referee, Herb Silva, the assistant referee, John Varus, who remains in the box off the playing field. But if you have not seen Major Indoor Soccer, a good addition to the rule book. The second official who can see things that the first man cannot see, and really prevents any kind of chippy play from taking place. The Arrows against Wichita. In goal for Wichita is Mike Dowler, who we mentioned earlier, and Dowler having another good season, a goals against average of 4.54. Down the other end, you will see the Arrows goalkeeper, who is what happened to the head of hair? Shep Messing had a haircut. Did you talk him into that, Roy?
I think it might have been his wife.
Shep cut the tresses, the locks. The Arrows will put it into play. We're just underway here at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. There's Shep with an 11 up, 4 down mark. Goals against average of 4.99. Arrows will put it into play. Omar Gomez, who has scored 21 goals in his last 13 games, to Zungul. It's tipped back and played by Frank Rasmussen, number 10. He gets it back over to Jimmy Ryan, number 9. This is John Cutbush. Cutbush feeding it ahead, and Cutbush getting it back. We're in the opening minute of play here at the Coliseum. The Arrows and the Wichita Wings. This is Cutbush coming in, knocked down by Franz Sandlot, who drops it off to Omar Gomez, and the Arrows are on the move. They got a 3-man rush. Good ball to Sandlot. He'll play it off the board, but it comes out a little bit too far, and it's chipped back by Rasmussen and taken by the Arrows' Renato Chila to Juan Carlos Machia, number 3. This is Zungul. We have played 50 seconds. No score here. Franz Sandlot. This is Chila, knocked off his leg by Cutbush and taken back by the Arrows' Machia. Ahead to Zungul. Almost a bad ball there, almost taken away by Andy Chapman, number 20. Chapman still coming into press. This is Chila. And we see Wichita moving 3 men up, and this will allow the Arrows to get a break here. This is Chila coming in, and a good sliding knockaway by Roentved, and coming out to play it is Dowler. You send 3 men up like that, you can bottle the team up, but if they do break out, they're going to get a breakaway just like the Arrows did there. Here's Machia. To Gomez. It's 2-on-1. Cutbush is back. Gomez. Goal! It was tipped in by the Wichita defender, and Omar Gomez has the goal, and the Arrows lead it by a score of 1-0.
Well, it's a fortunate goal for New York. Gomez did good to get into the open position, and then he was going for Zungul on the left side. The defender, Tobin, has to try and stop the pass. He doesn't know where Zungul is. It wasn't Tobin. It was the other defender on the left side. He wants to try and block it. It was Cutbush, and he's got to try and get a piece of the ball. If it goes through, it's to Zungul. It's a goal anyway. He doesn't know where the net is, and it's an unfortunate goal for Wichita. You see Gomez, he's going for Zungul. Cutbush just wants to block it, but he puts it in his own goal, against Wichita, but it counts for the New York Arrows.
Gomez from Machia, and the Arrows lead it by a score of 1-0. The goal coming at the 1:40 mark. Wichita with the ball now. Kevin Cooley. Cooley, second leading scorer for this team, puts it in front to Chapman, who chips it wide, and Shep Messing holds on.
Excellent ball from Cooley, and Chapman was unfortunate that he whiffed on the ball, but it would have been a dangerous opportunity for Wichita.
38 left first quarter, and Steve Zungul comes out with a good ball at Kitson. Just tries to chip it over Dowler. Dowler committed himself, but Kitson goes into the dance, and New York leads it by a score of 2-0.
Well, the rule is when you leave your goal, you must win the ball, and especially against a player like Paul Kitson, because he won't miss an opportunity like this. It starts with Steve Zungul all the way on the right side, and it switches to Paul Kitson. Dowler comes out, tips it over him. Look at the control. He's perfectly under control, waiting for the rebound, reading it. He knows where the goal is, and he won't miss a head ball like that. We see it from another angle. A nice outside of the foot pass from Zungul. Kitson tips it over. Now watch him maintain his control, his poise. Nice, simple head ball, easy for Paul Kitson, but he had to work for the opportunity. Great goal, number 25 for Paul Kitson.
11:29, the time of the score. Zungul with the assist, and the Arrows now lead it by a score of 2-0. Has Jimmy Ryan on the box with 5 seconds remaining, puts it ahead. Machia breaks it up, and that'll do it. So the horn will sound, ending the first quarter here at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. The Arrows on goals by Omar Gomez and Paul Kitson lead it by a score of 2-0. We'll get back with quarter number 2 after these words. Roy Turner and Don Popovich for the New York Arrows. Tired in suit and tie. Turner, a pretty good soccer player in his day, as was Don Popovich.
Both of them very good players, and they're each having a good go at coaching. Certainly Don Popovich, the winningest coach in soccer, best win-loss percentage, 3 MISL championships, on his way to his 4th.
Turner last year led Wichita to the Western Division title, a regular season in the MISL, a record of 23-17. They're 16-11 this year. So he's got things going in Wichita. Start the second quarter now with the Arrows leading it by a score of 2-0. 6 remaining in the first half. We'll take a break with the Arrows leading 2-0.
Magic? This new Buick's got everything.
Sue, if you can't get it on Electric Park Avenue, you don't need it. Nice, huh?
Yeah, but the seat's adjusted for you. To me, the steering wheel's just about in the distance.
That's where this memory seat option comes in. It remembers where I sit and where you sit.
Magic, those Buick people think of everything.
Yeah, especially the little things.
Spencer Ross and Roy Messing back here at the Nassau Coliseum. A week from this Sunday, the Arrows back here at the Coliseum against Denver. You come out and see all the action of New York Arrows soccer. Here is Kevin Cooley. Dropping it back for Ian Wood. 7:14 left in the half. Ahead of Shep's curls.
Another look for Shep. I think it looks all right. Take a look at it here. This was the other save. Took Sojourn out. Shep all alone. He was caught going on the near post and reached back with the other leg for a brilliant leg save.
Back live, the free kick, a goal by Terry Nickel. Terry Nickel put it home off the free kick on the pass, which came from Don Tobin. And Wichita's back in the game at 2-1.
Well, it's called a free kick, but you don't want to give a player a free shot at goal like this. We see Wichita come across late, and it's tucked right in the corner. He hits it with the inside of his foot and spins it away from the goalkeeper. Shep, nothing he could do. He finds the post. That's a good goal for Wichita.
So Nickel gets his 10th of the season. Tobin gets the assist.
Time of the goal, 9 minutes, 33 seconds of the second quarter.
And Wichita right back in it. They are on the board at 2-1.
Wichita goal is giving Wichita some new blood. There's only 3 minutes to go in the half, and they're fighting now. If they can get another goal here, they're in great shape coming into the second half.
Norman Piper getting it over to Roentved. His shot, save, Messing, rebound, goal. They got it, Andy Chapman. Chapman from Roentved, and Wichita has scored the goal. We're all even at 2.
We said Wichita can score from anywhere. This is the overlapping defender, and the first shot is a good one and a great save by Shep, but now he's on the ground. Roentved is there for the rebound right away. We'll take a look at it from another angle. Starts with Roentved, the first shot on the overlapping defender. You'll see Shep go down to his left side. Good save, and it's Chapman who's there for the rebound. Defender left out of the play, open net. And what a time for a goal for Wichita.
A good time indeed for the Wings. So we're all even now at 2-2 with 3 minutes even left in this first half of play. Chapman coming up with a goal, his 16th of the season. Arrows come back quickly. Here is Gomez to Zungul. Chipped away nicely. Good play by Kevin Cooley. He was one-on-one with Zungul and very rarely going to bat the ball away from his feet.
Good job by Cooley. He had just fallen down. He had to get up to his feet, recover, and then win that ball.
Here's Terry Nichols. Wichita on the move to Tobin. Comes back to Keith Gelling, number 17. 2.5 left. Nichols. Chapman taken down by Megaludis. No foul. And it comes ahead to Dragon Simic. Ahead to Steve Zungul. Zungul with Cooley. Tries to move around, and Cooley beats him with the ball again. And feeds it ahead now to Tobin. With 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the half. This is Cooley. Arrows and the Wings all tied at 2-2 after New York led it 2-0 coming into the second quarter. Wichita's first goal at 9:33 of the second. This is Tobin. Sheila right with him. Kitson, number 16, comes over to help out. And Shep Messing holds on to 1:48 left in the half. 3 seconds left. That's going to do it. The first half will end with Wichita on the attack, showing something they did not show through about the first 24 minutes of the game. But in the final 6 of the first half, Wichita indeed does come back on goals by Terry Nickel and Andy Chapman. The teams leave the field with a score. The New York Arrows 2 and the Wichita Wings 2. Here at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, we're at halftime. The Arrows and the Wichita Wings all even at 2-2, and the Arrows played well first quarter. Wichita showed no offense, but they seem to put it together in those final 6 minutes.
A goal is the best medicine for a team that's hurting, and Wichita was really not in control of this game at all. The Arrows were on top. They got that one goal, and all of a sudden they came alive in the last 5 minutes. They fought for their second goal and got it. Now they're up 2-2. They're even 2-2. That's a good spot to be in here at halftime in the Coliseum away from home.
The first goal came off a free kick. Tobin getting it to Terry Nickel. That made it 2-1. And then Andy Chapman on a rebound of a shot by Roentved tied it at 2. The Arrow goal scorers are Omar Gomez and Paul Kitson. And I guess if you can stop number 7, Steve Zungul, keep him off the board, you can stay in the game with the New York Arrows.
That's true, and I'm sure they always talk about Steve Zungul. His name is on every blackboard in the MISL. But they're the other players, Kitson, Liverich, and they're going to get the job done if Zungul can.
Again, a big game for the New York Arrows. They need this one to stay ahead of Pittsburgh in the Eastern Division of the MISL. And right now, let's go over to the doctors. Last Sunday afternoon, we talked about the New York Arrows Department of Sports Medicine. This is Dr. Howard Kletter, and we talked about just what is being done with these mouthpieces that are being built for the New York Arrows.
That's correct, Spencer. This is what a mouthpiece looks like. It balances a player in. It gives them total body balance, and we found it's increased their strength and their endurance.
You say it's also taken away part of your hearing loss and also helped the back problem you have.
That's correct. That has worked for me personally as well.
Okay.
And I think we have a couple of Arrows here who can tell you a little bit more about it.
Okay, Dr. Errol Later is here. He is the gentleman who is nationally known in the field of temporal mandibular joint disease. And, of course, this is Paul Kitson and Nicky Megaludis of the New York Arrows. Doc, first of all, just quickly, you've worked with these two men. How much of an improvement have you seen in their physical capability?
Well, I think we've seen some significant improvement, and the feedback from the players equal my observations. I think it would be to everybody's best interest to ask the athletes.
That's what I'm going to do right now. First of all, Paul Kitson of the New York Arrows, what problems were you suffering from before, and what has this mouthpiece done for you?
Well, earlier on in the season, I had a slight hamstring pull, which had been hampering me for the last 8 or 9 games, and ever since I've been wearing a mouthpiece, the hamstring problem's gradually gone away. Like the last few games, I've been hampered real bad.
Okay, playing devil's advocate here, somebody might say, well, gee, that would have gone away anyway, right?
Well, I had the same problem pretty much last year and the year before, and I'm hoping now that the mouthpiece is probably the cure right now.
So you had it the year before that, and this year. It never went away, and now it has.
Now it has.
Okay, how about you, Nicky Megaludis of the New York Arrows?
Spencer, I had the same problem, but mine goes back a little bit farther. About 4 years ago, I started to feel a pain in my hamstring, and I couldn't get rid of the problem. I had to have therapy and massages and all kinds of whirlpool treatments, and it never seemed to go away until Dr. Kletter and Dr. Later introduced me to the mouthpiece, and ever since I don't have a problem with my hamstring.
Now, both of you as athletes also, you know, when you do start to overcompensate, let's say it's the right hamstring, you overcompensate with the left, you wind up getting hurt. So it's also not only physically, but psychologically helpful.
Well, most definitely psychologically, but I think it's helped me physically. I can feel it in my leg. It does help psychologically, but I think in the new world of sports medicine, I think something new is being created and invented every day that's going to help the athlete in the future.
Okay, and you wearing yours right now, Paul?
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel also where it's definitely increased my strength over the last 8 or 9 games also. You know, I don't seem to get as tired as I have been earlier games.
Well, the doctor did a test with me last week where he stretched my arm out and then just gave me a little tap in the head, and my strength completely went away.
You like a baby. He did the same test with us earlier on in the season.
And it works.
It definitely worked.
And you heartily recommend it.
That's right.
Okay, Paul Kitson, Nicky Megaludis, Dr. Errol Later, Dr. Harold Kletter, our guests this afternoon on New York Arrows Soccer as we take a little trip to the medical clinic. Our thanks for them being with us. And right now, let's check in with Shep Messing and the Skoal Soccer Shootout.
Shootout with Shep Messing. It's New York versus Philadelphia, and each week a team of 2 people representing their MISL city will compete for the most total goals in the least amount of time. Each of 4 contestants will get 60 seconds to shoot 4 balls against the MISL's premier goalkeeper, Shep Messing. Watch as people from all walks of life compete to represent their city in the finals.
To a lot of people, soccer is just a game. But for me, well, it's a way of life. Nothing beats it. And nothing beats my Skoal either. It's smokeless tobacco with a fresh taste of wintergreen. Gives you full tobacco pleasure without lighting up. Just a little pinch between your cheek and gum is all it takes. The best part of going smoke-lit? It's really relaxing. Try some.
We've got a couple of husband-wife teams on the Skoal Soccer Shootout. First up, Warren Stillwell. He goes wide right, and Shep makes a flying save, knocks the first one away. Warren has 4 chances in 60 seconds, has to stay inside those cones, loses control, cut the ball back too far, and he just totally lost it. Doesn't get the second shot. Here he comes for his third of 4. Soft touch is necessary. Inside, outside of the foot. Keep the ball tight to the body. And he beats Shep for his first goal. Last chance for Warren Stillwell. We'll see his wife, Carol, in just a few seconds. Pull it back. Yeah, grab that handle, Warren. Here he comes for his final shot. Warren shoots and beats Shep again. So 2 goals for Warren Stillwell. Shep can smile in defeat. Now Tom McNulty. Tom, great skills. Coming in, he's even got his cleats on. Beat Shep, but it goes wide right. McNulty coming back. He's really got a lot of speed, great soccer skills, good concentration. He comes in on Shep. Pick save by Shep. I think Shep is rising to the occasion of Tom McNulty's skill. See Tom, soft touch, doesn't lose control, keeps it in tight, lets one go, loses it wide right again. McNulty comes back for his final shot. He's got a tough act to follow. Warren Stillwell had 2 goals. Save, no! Did it go in? Yes, it did. So Shep gets beaten after he made the initial stop. And he looks time bewildered. He said, did it go in? Well, it did go over the line. So give Tom McNulty a goal. Now Carol Stillwell, the wife of Warren. She pushes it outside. I think she's got better skill than Warren. Saved by Shep high over the glass. Carol moves it ahead with her left foot back to her right. Really playing heavily off her left foot. Coming out, Shep makes a save. Carol goes back for her 3rd opportunity. The clock ticking on. That's Roy Messing, Shep's brother. He's handling the whistle and the clock. Shot, easy save by Shep. You're watching the Skoal Soccer Shootout. It's a husband and wife team competition. Carol Stillwell moving up. Cuts it to the right side. Comes in on Shep. He's ready and makes the save. Throws it away. He applauds the effort of Carol Stillwell. She was shut out. Now Eileen McNulty, Tom's wife, she comes in. She needs at least 2 goals. Otherwise, the Stillwells are going to win it. Kick save by Shep. Eileen cannot take a shot on the rebound. It's only 1 shot only and then back for the rest. Knocks over the cone. That'll cost her. Eileen weaving it around, coming in and beats Shep for 1. So now the McNultys trail 2-1 against the Stillwells. Sounds like an old hillbilly shootout. McNulty coming in on Shep. He's ready. Kick save. Shep does it oh so smoothly. And Eileen coming in. This is her last chance. Around 1. Inside 2. Here she comes. Shep is there. Shot is wide. And so the Stillwells win it. Warren and Carol will look at Warren. He had a lot of trouble, but still the shots went in. His wife, Carol, was much better on the skill level, but Warren truly wound up and blasted it by Shep. Carol had really good form. She didn't beat Shep, but she certainly showed us how to dribble the ball. So Warren and Carol Stillwell, the winners. We'll see you next week.
Area situation right here. They're tied at 2. Wichita has the man advantage for the next minute and 44 seconds. Roentved. His shot, goal! Just fired it through and beats Shep Messing up over the right shoulder to the far side, and Wichita leads it 3-2. Rifle shot by Roentved.
Well, I wasn't even watching Roentved. I was watching Ryan and Rasmussen, and they're in the box running back and forth, and what happened was that Shep ended up screening on this play. It's a good planned play by Wichita. You run players in front of the goalkeeper, you screen them, defenders are moving back and forth, and give Roentved credit. This is one good shot. A rocket with his right foot. If you get a chance, watch the action in front of the goal as players are crisscrossing, moving in front, and now Shep is unsighted and just gets a look at it as it finds the back of the net. Good goal from Kim Roentved.
His 14th of the season, Georgie Lay comes up with the assist. He was out on the field for the only time this evening on that power play situation. So it is now 3-2 in favor of Wichita. The Arrows have to play catch-up. Hits it high off the glass. Lay, the assistant coach for this Wichita team. Out in front, it's Jimmy Ryan, and it's 4-2. Jimmy Ryan on the power play goal, and Wichita, 2 penalties. They have come up with 2 goals. They lead it 4-2.
Take a look at it on the replay. Ryan really, he gets into a good position, and he holds it. He knows that Paul Kitson was drawn into the center, and he's wide open on the back post. There's nothing Shep can do. He was on the other side of the goal covering the near post. We'll get a look at it from another angle. You see that Ryan had won himself an open net and didn't miss an opportunity like that.
Ryan's 7th goal of the year. Cooley gets the assist.
That's his 7th of the season.
And Wichita has taken a 4-2 lead. 4 unanswered goals.
2 men.
This is Cutbush. Rebound goal. Norman Piper puts it home on Cutbush's shot, and Wichita leads it 5-2.
The Arrows are in a bit of trouble now. This is a good indoor goal. It's played well off the boards around Shep. Franz pinched in again. He wasn't between the defender and the man, and it leaves an open net. A good indoor goal. He played the boards very well. We see good intensity here. He wins the ball from DeRico. Now he comes in. This is a good rebound off the boards, and he's right there in position. Goes high to the net because he knows Shep is going down to the ground to cover the low corner. Good goal for Norman Piper.
Number 24, Cutbush gets the assist, and Wichita, in 2 minutes and 24 seconds, has scored 3 times to take a 5-2 lead over the New York Arrows. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Sandlot cannot control. Chapman drops it off for Piper. And Wichita really in no rush right now. They've got a 3-goal lead, but you have to continue to play your game, particularly in indoor soccer.
Sometimes one of the worst things that can happen is when something great happens. They don't know how to handle this right now. Wichita did not expect to be up 5-2 in the 3rd period, and they're going to have to decide what to do now.
Just got to keep playing the way you played to get to where you are. Here's Cutbush. It's a 2-on-2 rush. Gives to Bourne. Returns to Cutbush. Almost another one for the Wings. Beautiful setup.
Excellent give and go, and all he did wrong was he didn't finish correctly. Put it high over the crossbar.
Here's Tuksha. Bourne catches up to him. Tobin goes, but he's taken down by Tuksha, and Val will pick up the foul. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Arrows are trailing it by a score of 5-2. Here's Terry Nichols, number 4 for the Wichita Wings. Ian Woods, Grennisser intercepts and gives to McGee. They do not come as easy.
You have to take more chances. You have to go for every opportunity. Just odds will put it against you. Some are going to go into the stands. Gino playing in the midfield. He's normally a defender, filling in for Billy Gazonis, injured and not on the roster tonight.
Goal kick, Wichita.
Jeff Bourne may have a break here. He comes in on Messing and scores. Jeff Bourne makes it 6-2, and Wichita leads it by 4.
He took it very well. This could break the Arrows back right here. A bouncing ball. Shep can't come rushing out because he can chip it over when it's off the turf like that. He waits until Shep starts to go to the turf and goes high over the other shoulder into the open net. Took it very well. Very patient. Waited for his chance.
So Bourne gets his 15th goal of the season. A nifty assist.
On an assist from number 7,
Norman Piper. Here is Zungul. Piper got the ball in his own end of the field and just headed it forward to Bourne, who played it beautifully. seconds left in the quarter. Wichita scored 4 times here in the third. They lead it 6-2. 5 seconds remaining. Kitson shot up into the crowd, and it'll be a throw-in coming up for the goalkeeper. It'll end the third quarter. Paul Kitson looks up at that scoreboard and says, yes, it does say 6-2. And there's the horn ending the third quarter of play with Wichita scoring 4 times in the third to take the lead after 3 quarters of play. The Wichita Wings 6, the New York Arrows 2. 2 in the third quarter, back-to-back penalties against the Arrows, and Wichita scored on both occasions. Roentved and Ryan. That made it 4-2. And Norman Piper scored. Paul Kitson has scored to make it 6-3. The Arrows getting back into it.
Not a big celebration from Paul. He knows he's gotten part of his job done, but there's more to do. He turns and tucks the ball nicely on the back post. Good and accurate, about 80% power and 100% accuracy. You'll see the good turn. He brings it on his right foot. Now spins one drag around the ball, and now whack. Finds that back post right on the corner. Good goal from Paul Kitson, but there's more yet to be done from the New York Arrows.
Time remaining, 9 minutes and 45 seconds. Sheila gets the assist. Kitson is second of the night, but it is still 6-3 in favor of Wichita. Arrows' 5-game winning streak will end with this one. Wichita, beaten last night in New Jersey 4-3, comes in and takes the measure of the MISL champion. 14 seconds left. Nichols to Tobin, and they're in no rush. This is going to be an exciting bunch of Wichita players when that final horn sounds. This is Gomez, 3-2. And there is Dowler, the story of the game. Dowler beat Zungul to the ball one more time as the horn sounds to end it. And Dowler gets handshakes from teammates and members of the New York Arrows. The final score, the Wichita Wings 6, the New York Arrows 3. Mike Dowler and Shep Messing shake hands, and we'll get back to the Nassau Coliseum with a wrap-up. Wichita wins it by a score of 6-3.